New Zealand's stance on the airstrikes against the Syrian government was raised directly with the French President and Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern after they met in Paris. Ms Ardern has only gone as far as saying she accepts the reasoning behind the airstrikes launched by the United States, Britain and France in response to a suspected chemical weapons attack. Speaking through a translator, President Emmanuel Macron first responded to a question about New Zealand's position.
On the first issue, as I said earlier, I thank New Zealand for its constant commitment within the international coalition. We're engaged in Syria, faced with an enemy, Daesh or ISIS, that's to say the Islamist terrorist. They're our enemy.
President Macron also said he had not meant to signal a change in the US position on Syria after the White House rebuffed his suggestion he'd dissuaded President Donald Trump from rapidly withdrawing American troops.
I didn't say that the US or the France were going to militarily remain engaged over time in Syria. We have one military goal in Syria, and one alone, the war on ISIS. I simply said that the United States had decided with the UK and France to conduct a targeted operation that is not built within that setting, that was the preservation in international humanitarian law.
Jacinda Ardern was asked whether New Zealand would emphatically express support for the airstrikes.
Of course, our first approach, as is the first approach of many countries, is to seek a multilateral mandate via the United Nations for such action. And I think that would have been the preference of many. However, the use of the veto power by Russia, something we've strongly condemned and will continue to condemn, has prevented that from being possible. Under those circumstances, we accept that France, the UK and the USA undertook the action they did because we cannot allow the use of chemical weapons to go without response. But I think we share a hope and an aspiration that we will now, in the wake of that action, move back to the UN, seek a multilateral approach.
Jacinda Ardern speaking to media in Paris.